Okay.
See, all the microphones have gone away.
Yep, so we're on TV now. So welcome everybody to our first meeting of 2025 of the Open Space Committee. This meeting of the Open Space Committee is being recorded and broadcast on the town of Barnstable's Government Access Channel. I must inquire whether anyone else is recording this meeting, and if so, to make their presence known. Somebody just walked in and they're not here.
Stay closed.
Let's just go around the table and do introductions for our viewers at home. I'm Lev Malakoff, your chair. I live in Centerville.
Elisa Crowley, I live in Barnstable Village.
Tracy Pratt, Katuitt.
Doug Payson, Barnstable Village.
Dave Gorel from Centerville.
Farley Lewis from Hyannisport.
Kate Gulliver, Hyannis.
Ann Rowland, Centerville.
Jennifer Engelson, Office Manager, Planning and Development.
Thank you. And Dave Gorel is not a member, but he's here as an interested guest and also has applied for a vacancy on the committee. So I chatted with him and thought it'd be good if he had time to come by and learn a little bit more about what we do. So then I'd like to entertain a motion regarding the minutes. And I do have a few little typo things that I'd pass on to just capitalization correction and maybe some terms that need to be spelled out, but nothing that changes the essence. Has everybody had a chance to take a look at the minutes?
Yes.
I did.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion to approve with a few little changes.
Motion to approve with a few changes.
Okay.
What are those changes?
Yeah, you might have to read
Okay,
their
I'll read the
changes out loud.
changes. I'll try to go quickly.
Now that we've approved it.
So there was I gave Grace a USB with some images. It says photos, just clarifying that that was the different word. NEMBA is New England Mountain Bike Association. It's not Northeast. We have the WV Conservation Area. It's actually the West Barnstable Conservation Area. Some capitalization of names like Walker Point is capitalized. Cobb Trust, capitalized. Route 6, capitalized. So just making it a little more readable for folks. And we can see the resulting changes in the improvements. Okay, any other discussion or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I never got a second.
Yes.
Oh, we did? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, good. Trying to make sure we do it all the right way.
Good job.
So first agenda item is to talk about spring walking weekend. And we typically, Farley can, so Liz is here, welcome.
Yep, thank you. Sorry.
Oh, Chris is here. Okay, welcome. Just in time. So we're now on the first agenda item, planning for spring walking weekend. So Farley and I have done a little bit of work on developing what I call a media plan to try to get the word out, and we can talk about some of those details there. I think one of our important things we want to hopefully close out tonight is a date or a weekend. So what was last year was during, well, it's been in different time
Different
frames.
times throughout.
May, wasn't it? May last year?
Yeah.
Like the weekend before Mother's Day, maybe, like
Yeah.
7th, 8th, 5th, 6th, something in that vicinity.
Yeah,
Okay,
Does
so,
that sound right?
yeah, I think avoiding a holiday weekend
Yeah,
would be
I
good.
think
Yeah.
we need to.
yeah,
Because there's a lot of
So-
conflict with people's schedules otherwise.
right.
Um,
So how about around the 16th, perhaps?
Yeah.
16th,
Sounds good to me.
17th, and 18th? Does conflict with Armed Forces Day on Saturday. Shouldn't be too much of a
It
problem.
shouldn't be too much of a problem.
All right, okay, this would be good, because I've already heard from BLT, they're setting up their spring calendar and wanted to know what we had in mind for a walking weekend, so I'll let Sue Sullivan know.
So let's, I guess we have a consensus for the 16th.
Well,
And it would include whatever you're able to schedule, so it could be Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah,
And there's no reason why you couldn't add more if you want to make the weekend even more glorious. It depends really on the volunteers, so one of the steps would be, now that we have the weekend, is to reach out past walk leaders and invite them to submit or provide ideas on what they might like to host. So that would be good. So on the screen, we can pull up the what I'm calling the draft media plan. I mean, it's very straightforward, one page.
Is it the what, this one?
Yeah. All right. So kind of the steps in my mind about how to get the word out is, now that we have the walking weekend, we can have a save the date announcement. I think what we should have, and this will be something that the town staff I hope will help with, is to create a page that would be maybe even consistent throughout all the walking weekends, which would have that announcement there, that then would be replaced by the schedule once we have it. So, when people go there,
Right.
they would always see something that would tell them, oh, the walking weekend is coming March 16th. And then later, once you've collected all the information about the walks that are gonna happen, Jenna was always very great about making a brochure of flyers that had.
She'll be back in plenty of time.
She'll be back, so we've got that lined up
She'll be
for her.
back, she'll be back in March.
Did she have the baby?
Yes,
Girl, boy?
a boy.
Boy, okay.
All right, so right when she creates the new schedule, brochure, that would replace the save the date announcement. So the other item I think would be very helpful is a printable flyer, like a one-page that would just say walking weekend is coming, March 16th. You can see the schedule, and it would have the address, the same address as that save the date thing. And then when people might see the flyers ahead of time and realize, oh, I'm going to save the date because I love walking weekend. And then once we can go live with the schedule, they'll be able to access it.
Is it gonna be May or
May.
Yeah, you said March, but
I
I'm.
meant May.
Okay, okay.
I'm sorry
It's
about
coming
March.
up.
I'm always ahead of schedule. So May
Okay.
16th weekend. Yeah.
I would be willing to help with the press releases, and I think we wanna get stuff out super early this year to some of the durable media like Yankee Magazine or the Boston Globe, because you can get on their calendars if you do it early enough. And we may pick up,
great.
Yeah. And I was,
Boston Globe.
the Boston Globe,
Yeah.
getting way ahead of, and then maybe even we have photographs from fall walking weekend, or even ones from last year's spring walking weekend, that we
Right.
could include some photographs that,
Right, just
Yep.
show, great idea.
Yeah.
So,
Does the Appalachian Mountain Club do any calendar?
right, well, I did mention it to Lev, is that we should reach out to them and see
If you
if
scroll
they're-
down,
Yeah.
we have, what we brainstormed together is
Yeah.
There you go.
entities that we're aware of, and
Yeah.
you as a committee may have more ideas. Oh,
That way you can keep
Yeah.
going.
okay.
Yeah,
What about the e-newsletter from the town of Barnstable?
Yeah.
that goes in it
Yeah, for sure,
automatically.
Oh, it goes in automatically? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I guess it could even be a two-phase, so the ones where you're gonna reach out to the Globe and Yankee well ahead of time, we won't have the schedule,
correct.
but you'll have the dates, and hopefully they can post a link so that people will be able to get to the schedule when it becomes available. So that's the part that we'll need help with from the web people in
I
town.
think on the hikes also,
Yes.
actually, one of the ways we could engage AMC is to ask them to lead a hike in the same way that we did with
Botanical Society?
Mass Audubon. Oh, doing one, oh, that would be another one, would be, Meeting House Farm, but then also Armstrong Kelly Park is now part of the trustees of the
Trustees, yeah.
reservations, and I'm a member of all of them. So that might be a way to get those organizations involved and then get it on their calendar. Like, we could even reach out to the trustees and ask if they'd do a walk at Armstrong Kelly Park.
Right,
Sure.
okay, I can
Never been
contact,
there.
the AMC.
Yeah, you're a member too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just see what their protocol is for that, because I don't know that they can maybe add it on as a community,
Mhm.
favor.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that they, can actually post it as part of their hike schedule.
Mm.
Yeah, so, that I can find out.
And the same thing with maybe asking the Nordic Walkers if they wanted someone from them to lead a hike.
Mhm.
And I think Mass Audubon too,
Yeah.
they've got a number of sanctuaries in the town.
Right.
And I went to the one that was at Long Pasture, it was very well attended.
So Ian Ives is still there, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then the one they've got, the other one in Barnstable Village, nobody ever goes there, the one across from
BWB.
BWB.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah,
And then the one in Osterville,
Skunk Nut one is pretty
Skunk
nice.
Net, that's
Yeah.
very nice.
yeah.
Yeah, some of these areas, I think we've talked about in the past, some have very limited parking. Like the
Yeah.
Skunknet Brook only fits 5
Yeah.
cars.
And
I mean,
then-
we were thinking maybe people could park at the school and somehow
Walk over.
get over there. So it's some logistics in some of these areas, even though they are wonderful resources
Right.
for folks to get
Yeah,
out and
they'd have
explore.
to park at BWB.
Oh, if there were a lot. I mean, I used to lead a hike through Old Jail and then go across the street
Yeah,
into the Audubon and then back.
yeah.
That's a good
Oh,
one.
that's a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one,
Yeah.
I thought.
Maybe this will be the year to
Redo it.
Rekindle.
Yeah, I'd like to
Yeah.
do that.
Chris, did you have a comment?
Perhaps you want to contact the Chamber of Commerce, and
Mm.
they would be a beneficiary if you're going to draw people from outside of the town.
Yeah.
So they might be invested in helping get the word out. As a matter of fact, when Pathways was the whole Cape thing, the Chamber co-sponsored it. Is that true? Because you
Yeah,
walked in.
I think they were involved in it, yes. Yeah, so,
Well,
And
there's
I-
the Barnstable Village Association too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Barnstable Village Association
Yeah.
probably would post something
okay.
on their,
And do we wanna do
Same thing
the
with West Point.
hey,
fire department sign again?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think once we have a flyer, we're hoping
Yeah.
whoever, part of the community you're closest to, you could, put it on bulletin boards in libraries or fire departments or wherever people
Well, it
would
seemed
see
like
things.
you got a good response from the libraries.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think the boards outside several of the fire stations,
Yeah,
you notice it just as you drive by,
right.
especially, but like Centerville Library, they're often advertising their own things. I wonder sometime if we want to get our own sandwich boards. Because I think it's better than just looking at a flyer when you walk into the library. If you have a sandwich board, they'll probably let us at the library, but at Centerville, they're usually got enough events, like the yoga and different author talks, etc. That just a sandwich board, and then you look at it as you're driving by. Instead of, coming in and out of the library, they've got flyers. They often put flyers right out. You don't always notice them.
Well, there are also other message boards at fire departments, where they put up community messages, like in Barnstable Village and
Yeah.
Centerville. I've seen them announce things. And
And did you try the West Barnstable Fire Station, was that?
No.
No, okay. I thought somebody did in there. There was something.
Sometimes there are, how do I want to say? policies on what they advertise. I know
Oh.
that primarily, it's, what takes precedence is any public safety
Okay.
notice,
Yeah,
and
that
then
makes sense.
village-centric things. It's just not, how do I want to say, just anybody.
Townwide, not townwide.
Well, maybe if we did a walk behind the fire station in West Barnstable that goes into Bridge Creek,
Yeah?
that maybe they might be more
That's a
interested.
good deal. Don't they advertise the tree lighting on their sign though?
Yeah, but it's the Civic Association's co-sponsored event.
Oh, okay.
So just-
Well, how about, okay.
So also there's that conservation calendar that I mentioned to you.
That's a great idea.
That I
That's
think
boom.
is, I think, do you access it through BLT or I'm not entirely sure
It's
what the
new.
pathway is.
It's new, so check
Yeah.
with
Yeah, I'll ask
Yeah.
Sue Sullivan.
Okay.
Okay. So Farley and I guess we'll try to boil these ideas down, and then we'll wanna kind of coordinate who does what, so we don't duplicate or cross our wires. And of course, we can always think up more ideas as we go along. As you get closer, you might have a thought that we can always add to the list. We just wanna, be in the loop so that we all know what we're doing here. And then I guess the last item at the bottom was, we all have, our own constituencies that we can have friends and family, to email and that live in town that, definitely should go out and enjoy the outdoors. So we'll try to use that as another, get the word out.
Okay, so I guess we'll kind of get this kick-started right now, and I'll contact BLT about our dates, and I guess we can start to generate some publicity. Is that what you're after at this point?
Right, so we,
Just
I think
save the date
I
kind
think
of
the
thing?
first step would be that, to
create.
create a page on the town, on our committee's website
Okay,
with a URL that stays fixed, that we can use hopefully going forward every walking weekend, and then have a flyer created that provides a link to that, so that can then be where the schedule goes.
okay.
So that could happen imminently. I mean, there's no need to wait now that we have the date. We can,
Right.
that part can happen
Okay, so
as soon as
move that.
soon as Jenna comes back with it. Or I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I
let's
don't-
excited.
save everything, Jen.
Yeah, I'm not sure what your staffing levels now are, how you folks would be able
Nobody
to.
to replace Jenna, but can it just be updated from whatever was, well, I don't know what it looked like last year. Who did the save the date announcement last year? Who created that? Jenna?
She works with GIS. I'm not GIS, I mean, whoever your IT folks are,
No,
I'm not part of that.
Oh, not for the code, but who made the actual save the date announcement?
I don't know that we had.
I don't think we
Yeah,
had.
we might not have had one.
Had one.
She made a flyer and she made
Yeah.
a brochure.
Yeah,
In the flyer and the brochure, it's definitely, she can do it when she gets back. That's,
when does she get back?
March.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
but somebody's gotta create the save the date,
date.
and I'm not creative.
Okay, I can make something
Yeah.
and let you guys
Yeah, if you
edit
send it
it.
electronically, they'll post it.
I mean, we could probably use the flyer that we kinda,
I have the
just,
PDF
Yeah.
last year, last
yeah,
time, or,
because that was really pretty.
yeah, I'm not sure how easy to edit PDF,
Okay.
but maybe it can be done. Okay, any other, Farley, anything else we are forgetting at this point? And
about
we
it.
look forward to seeing all
Okay, I'll
committee members
start-
out on some walks to.
Yeah.
I'll start shaking the trees and see what comes down. Where's
Fantastic.
walk leaders?
Okay, second agenda item, if we could go to the,
Trash and Barnstable.
yeah. So it's not a feel-good topic, but,
No.
I
Boy,
feel,
it's an ongoing
it's
thing.
an ongoing thing. Maybe I'll do the scrolling just so that I can talk through some of these. So I'm just, showing some examples.
Where
So-
were these pictures
Yeah.
taken?
This is at Old Jail Lane up near the railroad tracks,
Oh,
next to a trail. It's
I
a
think I
whole bunch
know.
of lumber. There's stuff under the lumber, we have no idea what it is. And if you look down the hill from there, you can see asphalt, shingles and stuff people are just throwing down the hill. So this
Was that little kind of homeless camp?
Yeah, I was wondering.
when we first discovered this, it had been long abandoned.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first that I became aware of this site was in 2020. When,
Okay.
and now I'll speak about NEMBA. NEMBA was restoring a trail along the
Yes,
railroad
yes,
tracks and came to this site, there were chairs and.
Yes,
and-
that's the
and
one I see.
I'm guessing it was kids that set up their own little playhouse up on the hill. I have no idea, because, you know,
Maybe.
they were all long gone. So when NEMBA was working on the trail, they offered their service to the conservation area,
Right.
to clean up the area while they were out there. And they had workers, volunteers, would have taken the debris away. Was told by conservation, don't do that because we have a procedure, we have a process.
Okay.
And years go by, nothing happens. Apparently, the latest is that they've gone out to look at it again and decided it's not a concern since it's not in the trail. So,
Oh,
the-
okay.
NEMBA members met with asset management last week. Chris was there to talk about these issues, to offer their services for cleaning up and ask for permission to clean it up now, but it's not allowed for reasons I don't still understand what the policies are about picking up debris on town land. So anyways, that's the story with that one. There's another site over, am I scrolling down? Okay, so, this is over at Hathaway's Pond. There's a couple shopping carts here, not far from the trail. And you can go see, I put a little NEMBA flag there so people can come. So that DPW could go to it, because, you know, again, we were told not to
Yeah.
clean it up.
Yeah.
I'll make it easy for the town to, so this is an old campsite still there. And, you know, this was back in 2020 when it was first reported. And back in March, asset management said they'll put in a work order, but nothing's happened. So then there was this site, which is along one of the trails in Hathaway's Pond, that was from an active camper. There was a person camping out there back in up until 2020. And what they would do is take their trash bags and then pile them in the woods, and then, which is nice, they put all their trash in trash bags, but then they would cover them with branches so they would be hidden. I don't know. So this is.
Maybe they were making a nest for themselves.
Yeah, so back in January of last year, here's one of the volunteers, brought all the trash out to
Wow.
Finney's Lane. So it was about 500 pounds of wet trash in this collection, bringing a wheelbarrow. So it was some effort to bring it out. And then the town was notified that this was here because it's a lot to deal with. I was told that it all disappeared before the town could pick it up. So there's another volunteer angel out there that takes trash to the dump that's next to the road. So we were thankful for that. I think it was probably, there's a trash business up the street
Yeah.
that maybe they were just doing a favor.
Okay.
And again, that's what you got.
Yeah, we can help.
So, just, you know, going out and walking around, exploring. Just last week, I walked out to Danforth, south of
Yeah.
Race Lane, and, you know, found another site. You know, I'm not gonna bother reporting to the town, since it doesn't seem to go very far, but, I guess if there's any, input or comments or concerns that the committee has, ideas on whether we should be approaching the town council to see if there's some way to make new policies that things actually can be improved and cleaned up.
Can we not just pick it up and get rid of it?
Well, I was told we're not allowed to, so.
Don't you think it has to do with like liability in case you were hurt while you were doing it?
Yeah, it could be. The unfortunate thing is when NEMRA's doing their work, they have $1 million policy while they're doing trail work. So the liability issue hopefully wasn't too much of an issue. It's true, somebody still could get hurt, but you know, if you wear gloves and you move slowly and carefully, hopefully you don't have a problem. But yeah, I mean, but that's the status we are. And you probably all have some similar experiences in other areas that you've seen things that you always, they're always there, and unfortunately, maybe part
Being
of.
involved with conservation, and there's always somebody dumping something.
TVs, washing machines,
Yeah,
water heaters,
yeah,
basically
yeah,
anything,
right.
couch.
And then it's like, what do you do to stop the dumping? And, you know, cameras and everything else. Well, police don't even.
Don't you think part of it is they just don't wanna pay to go to the dump? So they just dump it in the woods.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if they
I
had,
don't
like,
think any of
free trash day-
these sites are that case. I think these are campsites.
Yeah, that,
So I don't think this was dumping. I think
Was
in
that
some, in all the examples I just
Planning
showed you.
board? There's no town council, but planning boards tonight. What, open space meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, this is open space, but
I think for EDF, for the solar project?
no,
No?
there's no meeting going on.
Okay.
Is it the planning board?
I thought it was the planning,
Oh,
yeah.
that's over across the hall at 7.
I'll help her.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a suggestion, and that may be that we start getting people to contact their town councilors and say we want this issue addressed. This town is being trashed, and I pick up trash every single day. And if you travel to other parts of the country, go up north, go to Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont, you never see that. It's a problem here, and it needs to be addressed.
Okay. Next item, we could go back to I guess let's do the bottom, yeah, that one there. So, something that, and Chris, welcome back. We're talking about the rail trail now, and you did have a meeting last week. Just to give you some context, I don't think I'm gonna read all these slides, but this is the, available on the Mass DOT site, for reference. We're talking about the extension proposed to connect the Cape Cod Rail Trail from Yarmouth into Barnstable, shown with a black line, from, I guess, around, well, it says exit 8, whatever the number is now. But I guess that's near,
Station Avenue.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of, there's a park
Right.
there.
Right.
Right.
There's a- on Old Townhouse Road, and then
Yeah.
it'll go through the existing
Yeah.
bike path through the golf course
Yeah.
that will become rehabilitated because the pavement's kind of old and a little bit rough. So then there'll be a loop that goes kind of up north and back down to Higgins Kroll Road. And then when they get to Willow Street, there'll be a major bridge crossing of both Willow Street and the railroad tracks. So at least folks will have a safe way to get east-west there. And then it follows for the most part very close to Route 6 along, I guess, the Fish and Wildlife
Yes.
parcel. So it's the state land that, because hunting is allowed, they wanted to minimize the reduction in a hunting area since you can't hunt on a bike path or across a bike path, thank goodness. And then it will come back down to a terminus at Independence Way at Mary Dunn Road. So this phase would end at that location with some parking area there. And then eventually, there'll be another phase going further west.
Yeah, Mary Dunn Road's tricky,
Well, where that comes out is, that's pretty
is that?
easy. access.
It's not down by 6A.
No,
No.
No,
Oh,
6A is at the
outside-
top.
At the
Yeah.
top, okay,
Yeah, so it's all the work is south of Route 6.
okay.
What's that little spur that comes off of by Bayberry Hills?
So
That's already there.
this is the existing bike path, goes
Oh,
to
that's
Higgins
the-
Curl Road. So it
Oh.
looks like they're gonna retain that segment. It does have some value because folks, there's a school down here
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're redoing the sidewalks on Higgins Curl Road down to Buck Island. But Buck Island has a wide sidewalk as well.
There's a multi-use path the entire length now.
Oh,
So
okay.
you'll be able to be out of the road on your bike or walking from the existing bike path all the way down to Buck Island Road
Okay,
and go into the school or whatever you wanna do.
yes, so that other part is.
What's fun.
Yeah, so the main Cape Cod Rail Trail is gonna be coming like this
Okay,
up to, and that's all, away from traffic. I guess, that it would be a nicer experience than putting people next to the road. So it looks like it's gonna be partly next to the road. No, actually, I'm sorry, this is the old road that has been, replaced. Higgins Cole Road has a little roundabout here
yes,
going over to Willow Street.
Yeah.
So this is where it used to come out near the highway, and so that's already pavement that they'll just, adjust to be a bike path.
And when are they supposed to start this?
Yeah.
Frisco's.
Well, I have a little overview, and this came from the DPW. For Phase 3 of the Cape Cod Rail Trail. The bidding opened in October 2024, and Lawrence Lynch was selected for the project. Construction is slated to begin this spring in 2025. We don't have a detailed start date and are waiting on the contractor's schedule. The project is scheduled to be completed by the end of May 2031. Stipulations of the contract include no work disrupting roadways to occur between 6 and 9 a.m. and 3 and 7 p.m. Willow Street Bridge construction will require road closures. These closures are to occur between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. Sunday night through Thursday night. Bridge work to be performed between Columbus Day and Patriots Day and will be coordinated with the railroad for any additional restrictions. Bridge work will be performed outside of seasonal railroad schedule. Contractor will work with Mass DOT, Mass Coastal, and the railroad to coordinate day-to-day train movement to the Hyannis Yard. Lighting restrictions along with not allowing tree cutting from April 1 to October 31 are put in place to protect the northern long-eared bat and tricolored bat. Contractor will address all necessary permits.
so are they starting in Yarmouth and going west?
Yeah, that's the way they've been going.
So we won't be done in Barnstable until 2029,
I didn't get my
2031. I mean,
Yeah.
What has
that time I
happened
won't be riding a bike.
is there's the planning and then there's execution of the plan, so those are concurrent. So that it's been a big project, but comprehensive. You can tell they have to coordinate with the railroad and tourists.
There's more to it than.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
no, there's a lot of moving parts with this one.
And protected bats.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
that.
So many things to think about.
Okay, so I guess we'll be updated as we go along, and in our lifetime, we'll have a rail trail the whole way.
Let's hope.
Push each other
Hope
up.
so. Yeah. Don't go too fast now.
And it's expensive.
Oh, yeah, it's $16 million.
Bridges are expensive.
Yes, yeah, I would imagine.
I'll be riding my bike.
Okay, so we have, any updates on some of our, old business? Is anything on Centerville Cranberry Bog?
It is my understanding that the neighbors surrounding the bog are still in conversation with the town.
Okay. Don't have any Comiquid Woods folks. Conservation restrictions, I don't have any updates myself. Pathways update, I do have one little thing, Kyle brought, can we go back to the, list? Proposed sidewalk.
What did I do?
This was the
Is
little
that the
graphic
one?
I put together and that was submitted by Dan Santos along with the request for a sidewalk at a safe crossing at Route 132 between the YMCA and Four Cs. And I was thinking that, you know, while this project, if it gets underway in a timely fashion, the college is missing is a sidewalk segment between this intersection and their parking lot 12, which is here. So I sent this off to the college president, John Fox, and CC Kyle, so he would have it, is to see if there's any synergy of when they're doing the project of the crosswalk. Since they're both state entities, Mass DOT owns the road and college is a state entity, that maybe they could participate in completing their sidewalk network from this intersection to the existing sidewalk, which I don't know if you can kind of see this little crossing here. So there's a sidewalk along their circulation road that ends at that crosswalk. If they could connect that all the way through, then people could get back and forth between the playing fields, the tennis courts, the YMCA, you know, family and kids would have safer travel between those two facilities.
I think this is particularly important because the state is looking at dramatically expanding the commuter parking lot. And that will create significantly more traffic there.
Behind Burger King is what.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Correct, that's going to be significantly expanded.
Yeah, it's a high-speed road segment right there. People
Yeah.
really pick up speed when they're going down the hill from the Burger King area to the north. So it just seems like it's important that we make it safer. Any questions?
Do you have anything you could add about that, Chris, with what's going on with the town's planning of that whole cultural district?
No, I don't have any update. I know that I voiced concerns about this when the state had their hearings.
Yeah.
But my understanding is they continued with the hearings without any assurance that there was funding to advance the plan at the time of the hearing. So the plans are one thing and the execution is another.
We can see that.
So now any update on Santuit Preserve? I have something about Tracy, if you have. Okay, so I was with the NEMBA leadership meeting with Mashpee on a variety of topics. Santuit Preserve came up in the discussion. There's concern of motorcycles going up and down the hill by the fish ladder. So one project I think would be very helpful is that if they can create physical barrier that still allows pedestrian travel. If you have your bicycle with you, you could carry your bike and become a pedestrian, but to eliminate the possibility that motorcycles and ATVs can go up and down the hill, which is very steep and becoming eroded. At the same time, there is a trail network further down the Santuit River that has had crossings that weren't permitted. The neighbors had put up little wooden bridges, and then the Mashpee Conservation Agent takes them out because they're not allowed, and there's a lot of problems with that. But there is a concrete abutment in that area where the wooden bridges had been created and removed, and the concrete abutment. The conservation agent thinks that they'll be able to create a bridge there so that people can walk across the river. But he would design it in such a way that a motorcycle wouldn't be able to make use of it. So that's probably a great thing to provide access for people to get around without causing all the problems. Questions?
Yeah, the only thing that's happening out there right now, that it's not actually in the preserve, it's in that large bog adjacent to it that Mashpee has purchased. They've had a crew in there deconstructing it completely. They just dug it out, turned it all over. A big project, and that's ongoing. And there was also that guy that was squatting on that lot adjacent to it. Huge mess. It was like a super fun site. They went in there and just took everything out, and then kind of covered up some soil, and I think they want to take it out later. It was terrible. I mean, but that's gone now. And there was a camp on the Mashpee side as well that people had left. I was up there a week ago. Somebody else is back up there now. I don't know if Dan is going to do something about it, but it's about all I've seen down there.
Okay, yeah, Chris.
Tracy, have you had a meeting of the Santua Preserve Management Committee?
No.
Maybe we'll have to address that.
Would you like one?
Yeah.
It's required by law, isn't it?
And we haven't seen any minutes yet, have we, of that from Grace?
Okay. Farley, do you have anything about, from the Community Preservation Committee, open
Yes.
space application?
Okay, from our meeting of December 16th, 2024, the CPC approved an application from the Barnstable Land Trust requesting $100,350 in CPC open space recreation funds in support of the appraised fair market value acquisition of the property located at 30 and 31 Crockers Neck Road, totaling 10.62 acres, with the remaining 50% of the acquisition cost plus project costs being raised through BLT's private fundraising. This open space project will be eligible for a state park grant to the town for the purchase of a conservation restriction in the amount of $500,000, which could partially reimburse CPA funding. The purchase of the space and recreation values of the property for public assets and use by the community. The Barnstable Land Trust will grant a perpetual CR to the town of Barnstable on the property. So the committee requested a survey of the perimeter of the property, a management agreement regarding the park grant, and switch. It's currently a golf course, and if you're going to purchase this, are you going to continue to have it as a golf course, or what else? Is there a plan for, revision, say within 5 years? And the operating plan needs to be formed. So those were the stipulations that they put in regarding the approval of the application.
This is the Katuitt.
High ground?
Yeah.
To it, high ground?
It is, yep, so. Anyway, and so they just said, under project updates, the application for open space and recreation plan consultant has been referred to the town manager. Letters of support from the open space and conservation committees for the Smith Creek CR have been issued. Project will be scheduled for referral to the town manager.
Thank you.
The end.
Okay.
Could you repeat that about the Smith Creek? That's in West Barnstable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
the
the
Arenda
Arenda
one.
property, yeah.
Yeah, I think Mark Robinson came and discussed it.
Yes,
with us.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep, so, they,
They've received all the approvals then?
yeah, I mean, the letters of support from our committee, to support the CR have been received,
Okay,
so.
all right. Report from Chris Clark.
Other than an update that I sat in on the meeting and follow up with the asset management director, David Anthony, on some of the issues that we addressed today, along with the update on the St. Tuit Preserve. Hopefully we can see that as a winter project to address and address that. So I'll let you know how that goes.
I guess that's all on our agenda. Is there anything anybody else would like to offer, or did I introduce Dave?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, good. So anyways, that's all I have. I guess I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.